Now, this is the story about my case. Why I'm doing 10 years on paper. I get off in 2023. October 14th, 2023. That's next year. I done walked out 8.5 of these bitches already. If I catch a charge within these 10 years, I go do 10 years in the penitentiary automatically. I got like 4 or 5 technical violations. I've been locked up like 4 times while I've been on paper, but they was only text. That wasn't no new charge or nothing. So that's why I ain't go do the 10. Now I go do 4 months, 6 months. I done a year. You start from the beginning how this shit and how the system works and keeps us trapped in shit. So check this out. So in March 2013, I was at my homeboy house, my nigga Payne. He was supposed to do me another tattoo and shit. He did all these right here. All these. Back over. He did the Belma boy, my mama named Rita. He did my 5-point star. He ain't do none of these ones. He just did these arms. He did my tattoos for me. He was gonna do me a tattoo. I had my daughter with me. He was finna do me another tattoo. So, of course, I went to drinking. We was drinking and smoking every day. That's all we did anyway, slapping dominoes and shit. I went to drinking and smoking, knowing I was finna get another tattoo. He did this loyalty also. He didn't do the shading around it. It was like it was just like, yeah, loyalty. And then the homeboy shaded the shading around it and shit to kind of pop it out. But the homeboy Chavez I locked up, but he the one who did all the rest of these while I was locked up. Niggas in there made their own gun and everything, tattoo and shit. They got caught about 3-4 of them. They just kept making them bitches. Found a bunch of little pieces of shit, taking shit out of shit, and you can make you a tattoo gun. Them bitches be smart and lock up. I ain't gonna lie, them some smart motherfuckers. But March 2013, I was finna get the tattoo done. He ain't ended up doing the shit. And so I was gonna stay the night because I knew I had been drinking and shit. I got my daughter with me. He said that was cool at first. Then his people called from Baton Rouge. They talking about they was finna come. His moms and all of them. So he told me I couldn't stay tonight. They ain't had no room for me. I was like, I sleep on the floor. My daughter sleep on the floor on the couch with me. We ain't gotta. I know it's some room. They got a house. You know what I'm saying? It's room for me to. If I gotta sleep on the kitchen floor, bitch, I ain't tripping. But he said I couldn't stay tonight, so I had to leave. So I had to drive. Back then, 2013, wasn't no Uber and shit. I ain't had none of that shit. Lyft and Uber, it was, yeah. So, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. And so I called my baby mama. It was either go to my baby mama's in Euless, or drive all the way from South Arlington to Dallas, downtown Dallas where my mom stayed. And I was living there with my mama at that time. So I ain't want to go all the way back that way. That's too far. So I called my baby mama seeing if I could come over there. I'd bring the Kaya over. Let me come stay the night over there and shit. She was like, all right, come on. So I drive over there to Euless, all the way from South Arlington. No problems, no issues. So when I get, she was staying off of Hardwood, and I take that left at the Valero, Fuller Wise or whatever the fuck it was. Then you take that next right, and she stayed in some little 1 building, 4 apartments in each. So as soon as I hit that right from the Valero, after I took the left at the light at the Valero, you hit that right onto the back street. My song came on. I'm on the back street by myself, 2 in the morning. Nobody was out. I was damn near there. My daughter in the back knocked the fuck out. She was 3. So my song came on. So, you know what I'm saying? I went to swinging. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Alabama, goddamn. You hear about them Texas swing, niggas. Yeah, I wanted to do my little Texas swing too, nigga. So I went to swinging side to side. Y'all know what swinging is. Side wasn't no cars on the road or nothing. It was all gravy. But it was a cop right there in the cut. I didn't see that bitch. So motherfucker hopped up behind me. And so when I seen them hop behind me and shit, I started driving straight. I'm like, oh shit, the police. I started driving straight. So the motherfucker just follows me because now I ain't driving bad. I'm sure he ran the tags. Everything was good. So he just following me now. So as soon as I get to my baby mama's apartment, I know this bitch behind me and shit. So I hit the turn signal to go park into the, to go park and shit. Soon as he seen that damn turn signal come on, he knew I was about to park. That bitch hit the cherries on me, lit me up. Woo. So I parked the car perfectly. He was right there. Couldn't jump out and run. Well, why you ain't jump out and go run in the house or something? Because my daughter was in the fucking back seat. Nigga, shit, I gotta unbuckle her and everything. That shit ain't gonna work. So, my baby mama seen the cherries, seen the red and blue lights through the blinds and shit in the window, and she came out, got my daughter. My daughter was still knocked the fuck out sleep. Don't know what's going on. Brought her in the house, brought her to bed. So the police back up, asked for all my information, everything. I'm sitting in the car, I give Bob a shit. He asked, hey, you been drinking tonight? Yeah, I smell alcohol. I was like, I drank earlier during the day. I ain't been drinking recently or nothing. He's like, well, I smell it. He was like, blow through this breathalyzer. I ain't blowing through that damn breathalyzer. I told him, nah, because you can refuse. If you get a DUI and you refuse to blow through the breathalyzer, I mean, they can't do nothing about it. That's how you beat that case. That's what the lawyer told me before. So I told his ass, nah. Damn secret. I was like, nah, hell nah. I ain't say hell nah. I mean, I was nice as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, just tired as shit. I was just polite, man. So he was like, well, get out the car. You gonna do this field sobriety test. So I was like, all right, you take the 9 steps, turn around, take the 9 steps. Baby mama stood outside the whole time and watched the shit. Told me I passed that shit like with flying colors. But the only thing I failed on sobriety test was he told me take 9 steps. And he didn't tell me turn around and go do 9 steps back this way. The bitch told me take 9 steps and then take 9 steps backwards. I didn't know that shit. I ain't never had to, nigga, I don't walk backwards. I didn't know this. I did the regular shit, turn around, do the 9 steps. She said that's the only thing I did wrong. But they still knew I passed that bitch, so they couldn't get me for being drunk with the field sobriety test. So what they do, they say it's no refusal because you got a kid in the car. You can't refuse to blow. I did anyway, so yeah. So they took me to the hospital, handcuffed me to the bed, and drew blood. After that, I didn't sign shit neither, because but they said I can't, it don't matter if I sign for it. There's no refusal with the kid in the car. So I was over .08. So I got locked up that night, DWI. That was it. That was my charge, DWI. I paid like $260 something out of my money, because I had like $3,000-$4,000 only. I mean, I just got my income tax and everything. I had like 4,000 something, 4,800 something like that on me. I had like 400 in cash in the glove compartment and stuff, and maybe it was like 800. I don't know, but they brought me to jail. I called the bondsman, bonded out the next morning after arraignment with my own money. I didn't even know I could do that shit. I thought I had to give my money to somebody, but nah, you could bond yourself out. Like, how much money you had on you? I like $80. They said, that's all you had on you? I said, did y'all go in my glove compartment too and took that money? They was like, yeah. I said, oh, okay, well, yeah, I had more than $80. And it was like $8. It was like, oh, okay, yeah. They gave my shit. Baby mama came, picked me up that morning after they let me out. Later on, I go to court. They enhanced my shit. Now, they enhanced it twice. But the first enhancement was, boom, they enhanced it to child endangerment. Because my daughter was in the car. Boom, automatic felony. Then they enhanced that shit again to using the car as a deadly weapon. Now, to use the car as a deadly weapon, you have to drive at somebody. You have to be trying to hit somebody. Now, if the cop was behind me the whole time, I never put the car in reverse. How did I use the car as a deadly weapon? I parked the car, so they didn't try to hit you or nothing. You never got out the car to try to get hit. Wasn't no cars on the road. So because I was swinging, I used the car as a deadly weapon. So I refused to sign the first 4 or 5 times I went to court. My lawyer, I think it was Sean Matlock. He dead now. Yeah, but he kept saying, nah, they wasn't coming off. He was a court appointed. They ain't coming off that 10 years. 10 years, 3 months, 10 years probation, 3 months jail time. That's all. I was like, nah, hell nah. Nah, they ain't coming off that. 5 times I went back, they kept on saying the same shit. I'm like, fuck. Like, did you get the video? So this what the bitch tell me and shit. Cause I tried to hire a lawyer, Mimi Coffee. She said we too far along in the case, so she couldn't represent me after she already took my money. So I don't get that part neither. She ended up having to send me some money back though, a refund. But so Sean Matlock heard about this shit and was pissed. And he was like, I heard you tried to hire Mimi Coffee. And I was like, yeah, but she couldn't represent it. Because he was like, why am I here? I said, cause I don't know shit. They said they couldn't do it, so now you got to be my lawyer. So he mad about that. Well, you can hire me for $15,000. Well, I'm gonna pay you $15,000 and you already my lawyer. So that lets me know you're not gonna do shit for me as this court appointed lawyer. But if I gave you $15,000, you would actually try to help me out probably. But y'all swear on the oath, even for a court appointed lawyers, that y'all do everything in y'all ability, y'all capability to get a person off and stuff. But you know, we see how far that works. So he was mad about that shit. So he lied to me also. I seen the videotape. If we don't take this time, we gotta go to trial. I seen the videotape. You gonna lose. That's what this bitch told me. Bitch, you ain't see no tape. Cause if you seen a videotape, ain't no fucking way I'm gonna lose. I didn't use the car as a deadly weapon. So how can I lose that? So the fuck the fire department doing in this bitch? So I'm not going to trial with you. You talk about I'm gonna lose. I ain't going to trial with you, bitch. You know what? Give me them papers, man. I'm gonna sign for it. 10 years probation, 3 months jail time. That's what I signed for. They let me start off doing my jail time, my 3 months on only the weekends because I had a job. They was like, we ain't gonna have you lose your job. So I was doing it on the weekends in Cold Springs, work release. Eventually I ended up, I was still smoking and drinking while I got put on paper and had to stop, and I knew it. So they ended up locking me up and making me do the whole time straight up. I got out after I did like 4 months. So now I got 10 years probation. Now the cowboy, he killed fucking 4 or 5 people, a mama and a daughter. I read the newspaper, said it was car parts, truck parts, and body parts scattered everywhere. His homeboy flew out the windshield. He a vegetable, can't do shit but blink now. He don't get nothing but 10 years probation. Me, who don't kill nobody, not even a grasshopper, I get 10 years probation plus 3 months of jail time. We see how the law works, right? So I go to this, because they suspended my license. I wasn't allowed to drive for 2 years. They suspended it for, even though it been 8 years before I finally was able to drive again. They suspended it for 2 and said I couldn't drive for 2 years. So I go to a lawyer, because they say you gotta go through a lawyer to get an occupational driver license, so I could drive to work, bring, get my daughter and all that stuff. I go to him for occupational. Abe Factor out there in Fort Worth. I heard his name while I was in jail. People was telling me, he's a great ass lawyer. Boom, boom. 817-222-3333. Even though that bitch ain't did shit for me, I say he's bad ass motherfucker. So, Abe, I just gave your little punk ass a shout out, man, and put your number out there. So, motherfucker, if you better get paid for that shit. Went to Abe though one day, trying to get this motherfucking occupational driver license. I had to pay $500 for it. First thing, when I go up in his office, they called me after I was waiting in the area. She called me. I go sit down. He was like, bro, what's this with your case? I said, I don't know what you talking about. I just want an occupational driver license. He said, nah, fuck that occupational driver license. This case is bullshit. I said, well, I already knew that. He's like, and his exact words, old white man, his exact words was, you got fucked over. Now, he told me this shit like 2-3 times that day. He said that. Now, everyone else already would told me I got railroaded and shit, and I knew it. He was like, you got fucked over, bro. They fucked you over. They ain't make you sign for no using the car as a deadly weapon. You ain't hit nothing. You ain't did nothing. That was all right there. He was like, that shit, you could have beat that shit. That's a bunch of bullshit. So, really, I'm supposed to only got like 5 years of probation, no jail time. Now, if I only got 5 years of probation, I'd have been off 3 years ago. Probably wouldn't have had to do the whole time. I don't know, but he was like, give me $3,500. We gonna do an affidavit and get you off this shit. I said, bet, boom. Came up with $3,500, gave it to his ass, and still didn't get nothing done. We went to court, and they denied my shit. Now, he told me the judge was gonna deny the shit. When we first go, it's gonna get denied. The judge gonna deny it because that's him admitting he was wrong. He did wrong. He did illegal shit. The judge and the lawyer both did illegal shit. They wasn't allowed to charge me with that shit, and the judge wasn't allowed to let me sign for that shit. This is what he's saying to me and shit. He's like, they just fucked you over all the way. I know. So we went to the thing. Judge denied it like he said, and then I just kept getting locked up for like drinking and smoking and shit. I ain't give a fuck. I couldn't handle being sober in this world with the way I was getting fucked over and shit. I just kept drinking and smoking and just kept getting locked up. So Abe kind of quit fucking with me because he like, nigga, I need you to stay out of jail. And I was like, aight. And then I go right back to jail like 2 months later after we talked. So he kind of quit dealing with me. But the last time I had got out, he called me. He was like, bro, we going forward even more with this case. We got even more information. Come holler at me. Because I was done talking to him. After I went like the second, third time, I was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm going to just walk this shit out, man. It is what it is. He called me. We got some new evidence. Boom, boom, boom. Come holler at me. So I go to his office to go talk to him. He says, your lawyer, Sean Matlock, is dead, right? Or your old lawyer. I said, nah, I didn't know that. How'd he die? Motherfucker said he killed himself. Yeah, you bitch. Say he killed himself. I said, why he killed himself? Because they sent him an affidavit. A-Factor sent him an affidavit. And in the affidavit is like, how'd y'all charge him with this? Whoop-de-whoop, that's illegal, da-da-da. Now, Sean Matlock's response to that affidavit, he sends the affidavit back. His response was, he didn't know anything about me getting 10 years. Even though me and him was in court 4 or 5 times, they kept telling me 10 years, and we signed the same papers, 10 years, 3 months jail time. He didn't know nothing about me getting 10 years. I was only supposed to got 5 years, according to him. He thought I only got 5 years. It must have been a clerical error. That was his response in the affidavit. It was a clerical error. Meaning somebody accidentally pushed 2 numbers instead of 1. They pushed a 10 instead of a 5. And so I got 10 years plus 3 months of jail time. He don't know nothing about that though. So after it comes out, well, yeah, you did know because your name's on that paper sign that says that motherfucker got 10 years and shit. He killed himself. So I was like, damn, he killed himself because what was going on in my case? Like he was finna get charges brought against him or some shit? Maybe. That's what Abe said. I don't know. Could be. Okay. Said they also found out Sean Matlock did that to a whole bunch of people. There's a lot of people locked up right now because of Sean Matlock. He don't want to bring it to trial. He makes you plea out because he say you're going to lose in trial when really you could have won just so he could, you know what I'm saying, they work for the system. So, Sean Matlock is dead. A-Factor couldn't do nothing for me. But it's in the affidavit that says I'm only supposed to do 5 years. Here we are, 8.5 years later, I'm still on paper. That's how they fuck you over, man. You don't know the law, so they just get over, especially when you got a court appointed and shit. They They just try to hammer you with shit. I ain't supposed to get all this fucking time for no DUI. For a DWI. Like, I done damn near 2 years of jail time now behind this shit because of my technical violations and shit. But let me show y'all something real quick. I got this motherfucking breathalyzer. See that? That's a breathalyzer. I gotta breathe through this bitch 3 times a day. 3 times a day I gotta breathe through that motherfucker. So they making sure I ain't drinking. I ain't supposed to drink and drive. But I'm not driving. So why I can't drink as a grown ass fucking man sitting at my house after a hard day of work? I can't have me a nice cold one. That's the system. That's what it is. I got the breathalyzer. Now, that breathalyzer, you gotta pay $90 a month for that shit. So you're not supposed to have that shit over 2 years. It's somewhere and right somewhere. You're not supposed to have the breathalyzer longer than 2 years. Here I am, 8.5 years later, still got this fucking breathalyzer. $90 a month for 8 years. Y'all do the math. So now they got over a stack out of me, 10 stacks out of me. For that, I had to pay $2,500 in court fees. So they got me for a good $20,000 probably already. With all this shit, $60 probation fee a month. Now I got 2 POs. Because I transferred out here to Dallas from Tarrant County. Because Tarrant County kept locking me up. So now I got to pay 2 different motherfuckers. I got to pay for piss testing over here in Dallas. And I got to pay $60 a month to the Tarrant County motherfuckers. I got 2 POs. I got to report to both of them once a month. Now, because of this corona, I just got a call. I'm dealing with all this shit from a fucking DWI in 2013. Now I'm not allowed to vote because of that. So that really just fucks up. I can't vote now. You see where we're going with this? That's how they get you. Now I can't vote. Now that Second Amendment shit don't mean shit for me. I can't own a gun. All you crazy motherfuckers out here and done shit, all y'all can have guns and shit. I can't have a gun because of the DWI where I parked the car. See where we're going with how this system is trying to get you? Trying to make sure we don't have no weapons, but y'all could keep them on you. Trying to take all my pockets and money I could be feeding my daughter with and getting her more shit with. While y'all letting all these other motherfuckers get away with it. Your third DWI is supposed to be a felony. But they enhanced my shit twice to make it into a felony. Then they made it into, when they enhanced it the second time, that using a car as a deadly weapon, that's aggravated. So now I'm 3G. Man, I gotta do 85% of my time. So if I go in there and get the 10 years and shit, I gotta do 85% on that 10. When everyone else gotta do a quarter. They only gotta do 25% of their time. So they go get out in 2.5. I gotta do like 8.5. So what's even more fucked up behind that shit, why I was going with that shit, man. I gotta do 85% of my time. So now, I was locked up with this one dude. He was a child molester. He got 8 years of probation. So he got less time than me in my DWI parking the car. I already told y'all about the Ethan Couch. Everybody know about that situation. He got less time than me. He killed a bunch of motherfuckers. I had to go to DWI Impact Victim Panel, whatever the fuck. Dude up there crying and shit. He killed somebody. Killed somebody. He was drinking and driving. He got in a car accident. It was his fault. And he killed somebody. He got 10 years probation. He up there crying, I gotta do 10 years probation. Now I wanted to go up there and whoop the shit out that boy. Shut your bitch ass up crying and shit. You killed somebody. Less time than me. So why did I get so much fucking time? Why did the system do me like that? Talking about because of my priors. Got nothing but misdemeanors in my priors. Non-aggravated charges in my priors. Okay. So now, I'm getting all this time and all these other folks getting all this less time and shit. Locked up with plenty of people that got less time than me, did a lot of worse shit than me and shit. So, I had asked them just like last year, at the end of last year, like December 2021, I was like, she was telling me, all you owe is like $1,000 more for the rest of your time. I did my community service. They gave me like 360 hours of community service. Did that at the homeless shelter in Fort Worth. Talking about all kind of AA meetings. I had to do that like every weekend for 2 years. I had to do all kind of shit, man. And it's like, damn, y'all ain't doing that shit with these folks. So now, December, she said I owe like 1,000 something left. $60 a month equaled up to like 1,000 something for the rest of the 10 years I got left. For the year and the 2 years I had left or whatever the fuck. I said, I bet. Well, shit, if I give y'all that money right now, will y'all let me off? I did all my community service. I done walked this shit out forever. I ain't been in trouble since 2017. I went to Safe Pete. I ain't, did the halfway house in 2017. I ain't been in no trouble. Can y'all let me off? She said, nah, we don't let DWI people off early. But y'all let child molesters, robbers. My boss man robbed the bank and got off early. Y'all let all them folks off early. But y'all won't let my ass off early. And then it's paperwork that says I'm only supposed to done 5 years. That's the situation I'm in right now. That's how the system fucked me over. End of story.